Hi everyone, today I will be discussing fan communities in the magical and digital world through the evolution of the Harry Potter fandom. This is a brief overview of what I'll be covering. So, by looking at fan made content on TikTok and the fan fiction All the Young Dudes from the site Archive of Our Own, this paper examines how social media platforms foster connection in the Harry Potter fandom, demonstrating how participatory culture, fan fiction texts, and platform affordances promote community persistence over decades. Social media has developed into one of the leading spaces for human connection and global community, allowing individuals from every corner of the world to digitally unite. Social media has a long list of affordances or the properties that enable the uses of the platforms, and these allow users to create their own content, engage with others, and remix existing media. When people repeatedly engage with related posts, promote the same hashtags and media content, they often find themselves sharing similar algorithms to like minded peers. Platforms such as TikTok and Instagram allow users to digitally connect through algorithms and affordances, ultimately building a digital social community. One of the most common ways that people form connection on social media is through fan culture or when individuals are members of the same fandom. Jenkins defines fans of a media text on the basis of their emotional investment and rapt attention. This results in them identifying deeply with the media text and thus belonging to the fan culture or fandom. According to Jenkins, fandom is a participatory culture that enables interactive relationships between producers and audiences, allowing the audience members to also become producers where they can simultaneously create and consume. All of these factors reflect the overarching concept of a shared fandom identity, making them a community with a sustained sense of belonging. Jenkins established five categories that accompany the concept of fandom, those being the mode of perception, viewer activism, interpretive community, cultural production, and alternative social community. All of these factors reflect the overarching concept of a shared identity that every member of a fandom has on social media. One of the most immense and enduring fandoms is the Harry Potter fandom, or the Potterheads. The fandom is still active and booming since J.K. Rowling's first novel in 1997. The books were an international bestseller and were followed by the 8 Warner Bros. Films, with the franchise grossing close to $35 billion. A sustained engagement with the franchise was able to prosper due to the emergence of social media. Before the development of TikTok and Instagram, MuggleNet, a fan-made website, offered an easily accessible communication service that enabled Harry Potter fans to build digital connection in the late 90s. The early behavior on the sites of discussing fan fictions and role-playing aligns with Jenkins' 1992 theory that a reader's activity is no longer limited to reading an author's meaning, but also reinventing borrowed materials to align with the fans' lived experiences and personal context. There is a large sub-fandom on social media that surrounds the fanfiction text All the Young Dudes, a fan-made fiction loosely based on 4 characters from the Harry Potter series known as the Marauders. The fanfiction, posted by an anonymous author on the fanfiction site AO3, received close to 20 million hits and is now considered as a legitimate prequel to the Harry Potter series by fans. Other fanfictions reference events in All the Young Dudes and regard the text as canon or synonymous and official to the original text. Despite the text being fan-made and at times divergent from J.K. Rowling's original series, it has taken on a world of its own, with fans of Harry Potter uniting in a subculture as fans of the Marauders or All the Young Dudes. The hashtag for the fanfiction has over 350,000 posts on TikTok alone, as well as fans creating accounts based on the original characters of All the Young Dudes, cosplaying as them, creating short edits to popular songs, and art that reflects moments from the text. This subculture is reminiscent of the concept of participatory culture that digital communities are often afforded, allowing them to form connections, become mutual friends, and create their own media. This is some fan art posted on Pinterest and circulated on TikTok, as well as a screenshot of the All the Young Dudes description by the author on AO3. It's described as diverting from canon and focusing on the perspective of Remus Lupin, an original character from the Harry Potter series, but not one of the central ones. In this fanfiction, Remus Lupin is depicted having a queer relationship with Sirius Black, another one of J.K. Rowling's characters. Remus also struggles with mental health issues and his sexuality. The middle image shows how many characters have been created by fans or changed to have more representation of people of color. The success of fanfictions, particularly All the Young Dudes, has established a subculture on TikTok among the Harry Potter fandom that allows fans to engage with Harry Potter content while also observing queer culture and non-normative identities represented in ways that weren't in the original text. Engaging with fan-made content is also a way for fans to enjoy the fandom while rejecting J.K. Rowling, the author of the original Harry Potter series, who has had frequent controversial and derogatory takes that harm members of the LGBTQ community and their allies. Many members of the fandom desire representation of their identities and experiences in the magical world that they so love. Therefore, fan fiction is a pertinent way to establish this. All the young dudes showcase queer relationships, mental health experiences, and disabilities in a way that was organic and reflective of society, establishing a sub-community on TikTok that commonly creates fan art, discusses the themes of the fan fiction and the characters' complexities, and forms emotional connection. The affordances of both early fan-made online spaces and modern platforms such as TikTok enable Harry Potter fans to create their own fan content while simultaneously engaging with a global community. The evolution of the digital landscape has allowed the Harry Potter fandom to endure across over 3 decades. The participatory affordances offer fans ways to reclaim the magic of the Harry Potter world and build sustained connections. Some of these affordances include the Duet and Stitch feature on TikTok, liking and commenting on posts, using trending sounds and trending edit formats, sharing similar For You pages, and following one another. In addition to fostering connectedness, another aspect that makes social media attractive to young people is the concept of identity management through the creation of unique and sometimes anonymous user profiles. Users are asked to provide biographical information and to upload media to construct their profiles. However, it is up to them whether they reveal actual information about themselves or instead represent an ideal version of themselves or a persona. A user's personality and background may remain unknown to their online audience. This provides opportunities for reinvention or role playing as characters in the Harry Potter universe, as seen on the right of the screen. Queer and trans individuals frequently use digital communication technologies to build community connections and support. The term digital cultures of care describes informal networks of friendship and peer support that align with and influence the everyday use of digital media. Studies focusing on the practices of the LGBTQ plus community in digital support often highlight TikTok as a commonly regarded digital counterpublic. These digital counterpublics provide a sense of security, as LGBTQ plus youth have consistently expressed a need for online safe spaces due to their limited access to offline queer communities. Over the years, fans have found unique ways to engage with the fandom and its magic while also acknowledging the creator's bigotry. Here is a quote from Eden Gordon, a queer editor at PopSugar. For many queer kids, myself included, the series was a refuge during our childhoods, providing a magical alternate reality where we could completely be ourselves. It's not that Harry Potter is explicitly queer, but the series always felt so inviting and became a safe place for much of an entire generation to escape to for various reasons, queerness being one of them. End quote. In the paper Transformative Readings, Harry Potter Fanfiction, Queer Response, and J.K. Rowling, Associate Professor Jennifer Duggan says there is a possibility to interpret the Harry Potter text in ways that would horrify its writer. Her central thesis is that the Harry Potter novels are deeply queer, which has also been argued by other academics such as Pugh and Wallace. Duggan also argues that fandoms provide spaces where Harry Potter fans can explore the queer undercurrents while exploring their own sexualities. The online anonymity serves as safety, while the Harry Potter fandom continues to offer queer and trans fans a positive space. Fan works are an answer-hate with love reaction and focus on trans positivity and often become spite fics, which are works that are framed as revenge on Rowling for the hurt she has caused. However, I agree with Duggan in saying that I fully understand why some fans feel they can no longer engage with the text in any way. Cancel culture is the withdrawal of any kind of support for those who are assessed to have said or done something problematic, generally from a social justice perspective. J.K. Rowling posted controversial and harmful tweets in 2020 about the transgender community and has continued to spread harmful rhetoric that as a consequence has left her cancelled. Harry Potter fans don't want to lose the fandom and magic they grew up with and found community in. However, many fans felt upset for still being so emotionally invested in the fandom and ashamed of how it has harmed others, especially those that are transgender. It is a complicated process where fans now reinterpret a signifier whose meaning has become unstable and morally charged. This relates back to the idea if one can separate the art from the artist. Like previously mentioned, social media has become a space for fans to debate J.K. Rowling, her depiction of characters, and to create their own works and art that rejects her hate. The Harry Potter fandom has sustained a community across 3 decades due to social media, from blogs and chat forums in the late 90s to liking and commenting on peers' fan creations on TikTok. Social media has facilitated a medium for expression and connection. The immense fandom has become many subcultures that surround fan fiction, such as all the young dudes and other authors' characters. This allows the magic to persist while rejecting J.K. Rowling. There is much internal conflict for fans as they challenge the author's hurtful statements but still engage with the fandom culture. However, due to the queer undercurrent in the works, many fans sought comfort in it from the very beginning. Social media is a pertinent space for connecting over personal context while maintaining a sense of safety or anonymity. There is always a space for belonging through social media's affordances that may be absent from the real world. Fan-made works are creative protests that allow fans to reclaim the world and to make it their own for even more generations to come.